In the internet wrestling community, ignorant opinions are considered especially heinous. On wrestling Twitter, the dedicated detectives do not waste their time with investigating that hot garbage. Rob and Maggie are members of an elite squad known as Coexisting. These are their stories. Dun dun!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Coexisting. I do all these openings to just pop Maggie. That's all it is, just to pop Maggie. Welcome to Coexisting on Fightful Overbooked. This is our first live show, Maggie. They're giving us the power to do one live show. They're going to test it out. Let us see how we're doing. I don't know if they're making a big mistake, but we're gonna go with it. But we have an exciting show for you planned. Lots to talk about. This past week's Dynamite was Dynamite, as you would say. Big debut of Keith Lee. You had Switchblade Jay White showing up, and we got to see the setup of Adam Page versus Adam Cole coming up pretty soon. But man, how you been? How you been doing?
I'm doing pretty good and better already because as most of you know, I had a cold. I saw where things were going on Monday because I know my body and I know what's happening. And I went to the pharmacy and said to the lady behind the counter, I need some cold medicine, etc., etc. And she started giving me some. And then I said to her, I also need some cough medicine. And she asked me, is it a dry cough or? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't got it yet. And she was like, well, how do you know you need one? And I was like, what the fuck? Just give me the drugs, lady. Like, what are we doing here? I'm better now. I probably shouldn't have, barked at her because she gave me cough syrup, which tasted like strawberries. And everyone who knows me happens to know for a fact that I'm pretty sure I can kill a man for strawberries. I love strawberries. Rob, my ass tastes like strawberries way more than this syrup.
All right. I got nothing for that one.
Right?
Gonna have to take your word for it.
That bitch!
Wow. Was not expecting that. But that's all good. So, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to everybody who reached out this past week. After losing my grandfather, who passed away, I definitely want to say thank you for everybody that reached out, and that means a lot to me. And it's comforting to know that he's in a better place now. But let's have some fun now. Love you, Grandpa, but here we go. We started talking about Dynamite. What was your reaction when you saw the man bask in his glory and all, Keith Lee?
Rob, he looked so happy. He looked like, do you remember when Miro debuted in AEW?
Yeah.
Like that kind of happy.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna just say it right here. I wasn't expecting that. I told you last week. I was looking forward to seeing him over at Impact because, as I said, I just want to watch everyone wrestle Josh Alexander, and it's absolutely perfectly fine. People have been incredibly supportive of Keith Lee over the past few months, and I paying no attention to Twitter trolls, right?
Yeah.
You cannot possibly not see just how amazing he is in the ring. He's actually one of my favorite big guys in the ring. Actually.
Yeah.
I love the guy.
It was.
I can't wait.
Yeah, he just seeing him, the crowd absolutely loved him. His face, like you could tell, like I don't know if I doubt he had any nerves going into it, but if he did, they were all gone because in a matter of minutes, he just looked. I think, I can't remember who said it. I really can't remember who said it, but somebody basically said AEW did more in a minute and a half or 2 minutes with him building or putting him over than WWE did the entire time, like excluding in NXT. Like in a minute and a half, they put.
Yeah, okay, I get that, but like he got a pretty good showing against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns put him over really really good, and you remember Brock Lesnar's reaction
Yeah, but
when
what I'm
it was
saying,
good.
I should clarify, since his call up,
Yeah, okay, sure, yeah, since his call up, this is but like he was amazing over at NXT. I will forever love NXT, but as I talked previously on the show, like it hasn't been my cup of tea for quite some time. But he got some questionable booking at NXT as well. Like he relinquished the North American title and then all of a sudden lost the NXT title either way. So why would you relinquish that title? As I said, he got questioning booking like either way. But I can't wait to see what he does in AEW. And as I said on Twitter, he's going to fight Miro one day. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
0 dry panties, Rob. 0. 0. I can't wait for this.
Okay, so we've got from strawberry to
Hey,
no
you
dry
know
panties.
what you were getting into.
No, I'm fine with it. We don't kink shame here. We don't.
Yeah.
We just don't do that here. But we did get our first super chat ever from Ryan Sullivan. He says this show is going to be sick. Get it? So
yeah,
there we go. But thank you very much, Ryan. We really appreciate that. So thank you. Wow, I was not expecting our first super chat, but thank you very much. We do appreciate that. What I didn't have on my my bingo card was Switchblade Jay White showing up, and kind of making us wonder where are they going with this guy. He just comes in and he Trent Beretta gets the worst of it. I mean that looked like it hurt, like throwing him right into that trailer. Oh damn! But he and then he just kind of said a couple words to Adam Cole and the Young Bucks and walked away, and got to wonder where they're going with this, because the Young Bucks later on in a promo would say, when you're Bullet Club for life. So got to see what they do here. Are they going to have a Bullet Club battle, or what is going on? I loved it. Tony Khan, that surprised me. Keith Lee, I think a lot of us expected when they announced that they were going to have a new signing and stuff, that I thought it was going to be Keith Lee, like more and more as time went on. I know some people thought Bray Wyatt, and I wasn't thinking his time would be now for AEW, but the Keith Lee one was good. And I really liked how they brought him in. It was just out of nowhere. I do kind of wonder maybe how the crowd reaction would have been if they would have brought him out instead of like doing a backstage segment. But that's just me trying to find something, It was fine. It was good. I liked how they did it. And it was a talking point for the biggest thing is, would you agree with that? Do you like the way they brought him in? Like, did you like that segment, or would you rather see him come in like in front of the crowd?
You mean Jay White, right?
Yeah.
Well, Tony Khan mentioned it, that he went a little overboard with the Forbidden Door reference, and he sensed the room, and he saw that people were speculating about stuff, and that's when he got him Sunday. They weren't planning on having anyone else except for Keith Lee. Like he mentioned that, and he needed to do something on the spot because he didn't want to, disappoint the fans after like all that fantasy booking everyone did, which is probably like when you get a little overboard with speculation, like you or like if you get to you always get to have dream scenarios, right? And Switchblade being on the show was definitely not one of them. And like if they were like taking shots at Bullet Club either way, right? Like from quite some time now, even before Kenny became champion. And Tama Tonga, which is the one who actually makes this stuff even more interesting on Twitter. Like he had all these GIF reactions on Twitter every time they mentioned the Bullet Club, and I think that AEW does nothing like coincidentally. If they mention something, they're going somewhere with it. And Kenny Omega having a match over at Impact wearing a Bullet Club t-shirt, like come on. Like this is going somewhere. Like I have no idea where, but things are going to get picked up. And I'm sure that we haven't thought of the scenario they're going with, because like they're good at this. And him being on a backstage segment is probably because they had like a short time planning it out. So this is basically okay. And maybe like I'm sure that AEW fans are familiar with New Japan way more than WWE fans are familiar with New Japan. I'm sure, and maybe they were like maybe kind of filling the room a bit. But like I'm not expecting him to be back next week and the week after that and the week after that. Maybe like baby steps to go there, because like it's when you consider long storytelling, like AEW is the best at that.
So that was great, and then we got a fantastic main event between Hangman Adam Page versus Lance Archer. Those two beat the living crap out of each other. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. But the talking point was after the match. You had Adam Cole go down to the ring. He picked up that AEW Championship title, held it up, basically making it clear that he would be challenging Hangman probably at Revolution. I mean, let's be honest here. It's going to be at Revolution. And, yeah, buddy, you would have told me a year ago that I'm going to get Adam Page versus Adam Cole.
Battle of the Atoms.
Yeah, well, my panties would have got wet.
Lame.
It's like strawberries too.
Oh, Rob, well, I ruined you. I ruined you.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I was ruined a long time ago. But
just so to answer Alan, I don't think this is just a one-off thing. I suppose it will happen, but not regularly. Like maybe it will happen again, but just don't hope to get it every week.
Yeah, and that super chat was from Ryan Sullivan, and he sent another one that said he owed you for calling you Margaret. So that's
not my name, Ryan.
Well, yeah, that's why he said he owed you, because he didn't want to call you that. So, but yeah, and since I see it here in chat, and I forgot about it, but Tama did re-sign with New Japan, so good for him.
Yeah, sure.
I got to be honest with you, him not being in New Japan just sounds like it just doesn't sound right. You know?
Yeah, what I mean? It's weird. Like seeing him in Impact is weird. So
yeah, and thanks Ace for putting that in there, because I completely spaced it. But yeah, I'm glad he re-signed, and we'll have to see. Maybe this does open like the door a little bit. Maybe we'll have to see where it goes. It's interesting. I'm very anxious to see what Switchblade does, because there's some dream matches I have with him against some AEW individuals. But yeah, it was something else, and it was a good show. I thought I didn't get to watch it live because I was out of town, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done, and that's really like all I could say about it. You got Rampage tonight, so that'll be pretty good. I'm assuming. I haven't looked at the spoilers or anything. I try to avoid that stuff, but going back to Keith Lee for a second, AEW made him look like a star. The next guy I'm going to talk about is somebody that WWE dropped the ball with again, and his name's Killer Kross. I think Killer Kross had the look that Vince McMahon likes. He has that. I'm not saying they're the same wrestler, but as far as like physique goes, they're pretty close. I mean, Batista's a little bit bigger, Dave Batista, but I saw a lot of Killer Kross, like in, I see a lot of Killer Kross comparisons to Batista. They have that build, and I thought he looked like $1 million. Like I really did. I thought WWE just like normal, unfortunately, and I'm a WWE guy, but they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball huge with him, and he's part of the narrative now, like with EC3, and I'm always going to call him Braun. But it's, I wish him nothing. As a wrestler, I love watching him wrestle. I do. Him and Scarlett have the it factor when it comes to TV. They just do. I mean, Scarlett, the camera obviously likes her. Oh. Yeah, giggity. But yeah, it was just, and I really hope he can. I think he's going to do great things. I really do, and the fact that he's going to MLW is good. Like, he'll get some eyes there, and we'll see what he does next. But he's going to be at Super Fight on February 26th in Charlotte, North Carolina, a big show that MLW's having. You're going to see Alex Hammerstone versus Davey Richards for the heavyweight championship. You get a couple other matches that are really good. Mads Kruger versus Jacob Fatu. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat enters MLW. He's not going to be wrestling, but that's going to be good to see. I always I'm a mark for Ricky the Dragon. So, and then Ricky and Kerry Morton are going to wrestle. So Kerry Morton, Ricky's son, is going to be in the ring. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's I'm anxious to see what he does. Anything's got to be better than that gimmick he had with that helmet. So, would you agree with that statement?
I told you last week on the show, I have no idea. Like, I got some friends, some dudes that shave their heads. Like, they have these huge beards, and they shave their heads. And I hadn't seen one of my friends in quite some time. And then he came into the bar with like a full-grown set of hair. And I'm like, do you mean to tell me that you weren't bald? And they was like, no, I just like shaved my head. And I was like, why would you be voluntarily bald? Like, you have like this opportunity to be bald, like way ahead of your life. Like, enjoy that hair while you still can, like, supposedly. And this is the thing with Kross. They actually made him shave his head. I thought that he was bald. Like, why? Why would you have that look? And he looks like $1 million right now. I talked about it last week on the show. The vignette he posted on Twitter was bonkers amazing. I loved it because it reminded me of Wolverine, and I'm a huge sucker for Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and I can't wait. I'm sure that first match he had over, I think it was Raw, when Jeff Hardy beat him in a matter of seconds. He actually came out with the NXT Championship. And then I tweeted after the match, I wouldn't blame you if you don't watch NXT, because after that, I wouldn't either if I didn't already. And because and this wasn't me undermining Jeff Hardy, it was the fact that he came on Raw holding the NXT Championship, and he got dropped out. He didn't even get like much offense. I can't even remember that match. I blanked it out, and I'm glad I did, because I really don't need to remember WWE dropping the ball on Kross. They had money with him. Him and Scarlett were like, the fact that they got over from simple entrance music, and his first match over at NXT, like the fog hadn't even cleared yet, and he got a pin.
Yeah. But I'm anxious to see what he does. And we got another super chat here from Matt. He says, "Hi, Rob, and my favorite Bulgarian bartender, Maggie. I'm hoping Kenny returns whenever it's Cole versus Hangman." Absolutely. Like, even if it's after the match, just let Kenny walk.
I'm sure.
Yep.
Like, if we, like, I'm sure that Kenny, having in mind just how banged up he was in all the injuries he had, I would be shocked if he's good to go by the time Revolution comes around. But he doesn't need to wrestle, just be there. And like Adam Cole bringing in Switchblade, having in mind that Kenny doesn't quite like Jay White, and it's Young Bucks on a pole match.
Young Bucks on a pole match. There you go. Yeah, it was good, and we'll have to see there. Moving on, we have Mickie James was interviewed by Denise Salcedo, Fightful's Denise Salcedo, on her show Instinct Culture.
I will forever fangirl Denise.
Yeah, absolutely, she's awesome. But anyways, the story there is she believes that the show, she believes that Impact and WWE will, it'll lead to more of the working relationship, she thinks, or at least that's what she hopes. She goes, she first talked about the trash bag incident, which we all remember, and it's one of those things where I'm glad she got some closure behind it, because that was an awful thing that they did. The whole trash bag thing, that's awful. Nobody should ever have to deal with that kind of crap. And she basically said that it's not going to be immediate, like a working relationship, but she thinks she sees potential. And so I ask, with the current state of WWE, I don't see this happening anytime soon, but I am hopeful more than ever that we get to see something, whether it's like AJ Styles going to like their Hall of Fame event or something, just to get somebody's face over there on Impact. I mean, Impact's done a couple of things with them before, sharing like footage and stuff like that for the network. So we'll have to see. But if there's anything that I would want, like with Impact, it's please give me an AJ Styles match for Josh Alexander. That's what I want in life. That would be fantastic.
Why are you doing this to me, Rob?
Well, I got to. But that would absolutely just That would just be badass. I mean,
Get the hose.
Yeah, I get the hose again. But yeah, is that? I already named one match I'd want to see, but what about you?
Maybe Becky Lynch against Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh, see, get the hose there. I'd take that.
The promos, Rob. Holy crap.
That'd be good. I mean, there's a lot I could. That's the thing. It's always fun to daydream and book fantasy booking. Yeah. And we got another super chat. Man, weird.
This is weird.
Yeah, I'm not used to this, so it's awesome. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. So this is my first day. I missed one before JJ, so you can tell we're not used to getting them because I don't know what I'm doing. But Jackie Rodriguez, thank you very much. She says, I gotta show my girl Maggie some love. Great to hear you talk some wrestling. So thank you, Jackie.
Jackie's the best.
People love you. They do. It's all of these like are mentioning you. They're like, I don't know about that guy, but I'm glad Maggie's here.
Oh, stop undermining yourself.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying you're a big deal, and I like it. So I'm happy that you are here. I tell you that every week. So, but our guy JJ sent us a super chat. If we do get more Impact versus WWE, Josh Alexander versus AJ Styles, Deonna versus Shayna, that'd be nice.
Oh yes.
And, Motor City Machine Guns versus the Usos. Yep, I'll take that. There's so many matches I can make with the Usos.
First of all, we need Alex Shelley back.
Yeah.
For the Motor City Machine Guns. I miss Alex Shelley.
I love Alex Shelley. I absolutely love him. He's just awesome. We do need more Alex Shelley. There's really nothing else you could say about it, but yeah, moving on from the Impact talking about Impact. I don't want it to seem like we're burying WWE, but it's just another topic. Kyle O'Reilly was interviewed on Renee Paquette's show on speaking the sessions. He said a couple of things that really caught my eye. The biggest thing is he said he feels for people who get released and everything that happens. It happens way more than it should, which we would agree with. It's awful. He said that he's grateful for the position that he was in, and he looks at the landscape and the opportunities were out there, and he said, luckily AEW fell into place, and he was able to go from NXT to AEW. He reiterated that he had support from guys like Shawn Michaels, who just want to see guys like him continue to succeed. And we're constantly hearing that from guys that have left. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and now Kyle O'Reilly, talking about how people in NXT were so helpful with him. And they're talking about Hunter too. Like, Hunter had to leave towards the end of it. So a lot of these guys didn't get to say goodbye in person. But it tells me something, like in the long run, and this is just me like spitballing here, depending on what happens with the WWE in the future, I see a lot of these guys coming back because of if guys like Shawn Michaels and Triple H are still around, I do see some of these guys coming back eventually. I think with what Vince and company has done over the past since the pandemic, they didn't do themselves any favors keeping a lot of these guys, or like letting go of so many people. A lot of these guys, they notice, and it's even Sean had a report on Fightful Select not too long ago about how locker room morale is lower than almost ever in WWE. And that's unacceptable right now. I believe it's unacceptable anytime, but when I see guys leave because of the company, and I mean, there's a lot of people that drop the ball. Like even Kyle O'Reilly said that normally we would negotiate with you 6 months before, but we dropped the ball. There's no excuse for a company like WWE to not have one person not know contracts for each guy, or each superstar. That's just ridiculous. That there should be at least somebody that knows every contract. Like, the next one that's up. That's ridiculous. And the fact that they went to him so late, and even he didn't know his contract status, which, that was Adam Cole said the same thing. They didn't really know their contract status, and they negotiated and they did their thing. Like, I know Kyle O'Reilly worked a couple of dark matches at like SmackDown and stuff like that. But when I think Kyle O'Reilly did the right thing. He is a guy that I think would have been lost in the shuffle with WWE, especially with this new NXT. And I'm glad that we get to see Red Dragon again, obviously, and he's back with Adam Cole, and it's just one of those kind of things that the locker room in AEW seems a lot better than what it would be in NXT and WWE. But he said something that really also caught my attention, was the fact that WWE is signing so many people that don't have a wrestling background. They have more of an athletic background, like sports. Like, they're bringing in a lot of college athletes. And he said that a lot of these people, what's going to happen down the road, a lot of them don't have the heart. Like, you don't know if they have the heart for pro wrestling. Like, a lot of these college or people coming in don't know the house shows and stuff like that, what this job is going to entail. Like, when WWE, if they ever do go back to a full road schedule, like what that's going to do to their families. And a lot of these people are young, so maybe they want to start families soon. And I do think that is a problem with a lot of people not knowing what they're getting into. They could be told one thing, but it's actually something else when you're actually doing it. I think in the long run, it'll be interesting to see what happens there, because Kyle O'Reilly made a good point. If your heart's not in it and you're not dedicated, it can be a very hard career for a lot of people. And I definitely agree with that. And it's one of those things, Nick Khan, Nick Khan, I wonder if he gets that, because none of this stuff happened before Nick Khan got there. So I think a lot of this is advice that he's given to Vince. Like, let's build our athletes instead of signing all these people. Let's build them, and we'll have to see what happens there. What would you agree with Kyle O'Reilly? What he's saying there, as far as having the dedication to maybe stay there long term, like in WWE for that matter?
Well, it kind of this can be said about any profession. Actually,
true.
If you're not dedicated to it, and if you don't have the heart for it, then it's just you just go there for the money and for the fame, maybe, and stuff. Yeah, sure, Rob.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
And maybe because if your heart's not into it, I think it'll show. If you're just there to collect a paycheck and serve, it'll show. And it's the other way around. If you're not you're not appreciated as much as you want to, but you have the heart for it. It says so right here. Carmelo Hayes is, oh my God, he got me really, really, really fast. From the moment he grabbed the microphone and said what he had to say, and he actually wrestled, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's money. That's money right over there. And if they dropped the ball with him. I don't know what we're doing here. And as I mentioned, he's gonna get called up, and he's gonna get called only Hayes because it's too close to Carmella, and
Oh God.
it's like, why? No, just stop it. And the way he talked about NXT just shows that I think he really misses Triple H.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, like, and if I hope Shawn Michaels stays there forever, and because people are, say what you want to say about Shawn Michaels, but people actually turn to him for advice, and he always looks like the NXT's biggest fan, which you want to see. You want to see that, like, in your boss, manager, or whatever you want to call it. You always want to see that the higher ups have faith in you, and they love you, and they root for you, and they actually respect you. And you get none of that on the main roster if you're not Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns. So I can see why he said what he said. And also, when you get like the two people, the souls of NXT at the time, Johnny Gargano and Kyle O'Reilly, the way they got to say goodbye, and on the other hand, the way Dean Ambrose went out the door. Like, those are two really, really different things. And the way things are done on the main roster isn't the way things are done in NXT when Shawn Michaels has word on it, in it. So I think time will show. I'm already giving NXT 2.0 the benefit of the doubt because there are people there who I still adore. And as I said, I will never not watch a show that AJ Styles is on. It's the same. I will never not watch a show where Tommaso Ciampa is on.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah,
fine.
and Ace made a good point too. Cora Jade, and they do have wrestlers that'll stay. Cora Jade, or
Oh, sure, Cora Jade. I love her.
like
Yeah.
they do have wrestlers that are going to be there for a while. I'm just talking about how some of them that they're bringing in might not fit that mold for a while. Like, but yeah, they do have some. Indy Hartwell, your LA Knights, your Cameron Grimes, Joe Gacy, or AKA Joel Pearl. They have you noticed how they look just alike? It's just ridiculous.
They're the same. They're one the same.
Yeah, has anybody ever seen those two like together at the same time? It's possible. I mean, it's ridiculous. And Joel looks like the kind of person that would hang out with like Harland. So I can see that, you know.
What's that supposed to mean?
But freak shows, what I'm saying. Bunch of bone saws, as we would call them around here. That's what we call weirdos, bone saws, because of Randy Savage and Spider-Man.
Oh crap!
But, yeah, I'm kidding, Joel. Really, I'm not. But yeah, Corey Indy Hartwell. I see Ace says that, and there's a couple of people. I mean,
They
Joe
fuck
Gacy,
up Kaylee Ray. I'm gonna riot.
yeah, Kaylee Ray, Raquel Gonzalez. She loves what she's doing. JC James Dolan. What's her? Gigi Dolan, who
Gigi Dolan.
she's one of the sweetest people that I've ever met in wrestling. She's just awesome. I absolutely love her, and I can't wait to see what she does in the future, like NXT, WWE. I'm really excited for her. She is so good, and I hope they get to let her do her thing down in the future, because she's really good. Moving on. It seems like every week this man just says something stupid. And as far as he is a legend when it comes to in the ring. Outside of the ring, he is what he is. And it's he's dropped, but I'm talking about Ric Flair. Ric Flair every week says something that's just ridiculous. And this week on his show, he basically said that he finds it disrespectful that Becky Lynch calls Ronda Rousey Ronnie. He didn't have a problem with that when he was cool with Becky, and when Becky was feuding with her and Charlotte for that WrestleMania triple threat match, he didn't have a problem. He has a problem with her right now for whatever reason. There's probably a lot of things behind it, but he, who knows? You know, it's just kind of weird. Like maybe he says this stuff to just get people to tune into his show. I don't know. But it's tiring. And I mean, honestly, the only reason I'm talking about this is, yeah, like basically, yeah. And Ace makes a good point. He did take a shot at it. And I don't know if that was his goal or if that was his intention, but he did take a shot at CM Punk and Mox this week. Talking about them wrestling against FTR, you know, he says something every week that's just, I guess, asinine, you would say. He just doesn't, I don't know what he's doing. Like, I don't think he's doing himself.
I know.
Okay,
I know really, really well what he's doing.
Okay, you tell me. I want to hear it.
He's trying to stay relative.
Jackie just literally said the same thing. You two.
Yeah, I know, because she's, yeah.
And I guess that's it. I mean, yeah, he is trying, yeah, I can't talk. He is trying to stay relevant. Jesus. And then if that's the case, which it is, I guess, it's rather sad because he's dropped. And I know the whole plane incident kind of reared its head this past summer or fall because of what he did. And like on that plane, and it just kind of, he got canceled for the most part. And for what he did, rightfully so. I mean, it allegedly did, I guess, you would say. But it just gets tiring of hearing this. Like, it's going to be a point. And I didn't want to bring it up, like, because I don't want to give it attention. But I thought this was just so ridiculous. And like the whole Ronnie Ronda thing, I think that's just reaching for shit, in my opinion. He's just reaching.
Of course he's reaching, Rob. Like, do you remember when last year he wished Tony Khan a happy birthday? Do you remember the way he wished him a happy birthday? Like,
yeah.
Making it all about himself.
Yeah.
Like, this is the things you would probably expect from people who have zero intent to give the young ones their spotlight. No, he wants to make it all like about them. Like, he's not putting over anyone. Like, he's just butting into his business. It's just really funny because this is just exactly what Charlotte said in one of her promos like years ago. You're not trying to support me, Dad. You're just stealing the spotlight. This is exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
He clinches on stuff he sees it's relevant at the moment and people are talking about it and it is a buzz, and he decides to speak up about it.
Yep.
It's textbook.
Yeah. No, for sure. And yeah, I see somebody talking about it in chat, so I'll go ahead and bring it up. Congratulations to AQA, who signed with AEW today. Good for her. Awesome. She's going to do great things in AEW, so congratulations to her. Yeah, I mean, that's really all you can say. So, I mean, that's a good signing. Before we go to the Cooper effect, I'm just going to do one more. We're doing 2 Cooper effect stories today, by the way, folks. Just Madison Square Garden. One of my dreams has been to attend a house show at Madison Square Garden. Not necessarily a pay-per-view or a televised event, a house show, because there's so much history for Madison Square Garden and WWE when it comes to house shows. I mean, that's like the Mecca. I mean, that's why they call it the Mecca. And it's a big deal when WWE books Brock Lesnar for a house show. He has been booked for Madison Square Garden's Road to WrestleMania house show on March 5th. He'll be taking on Bobby Lashley in what I assume will be a title match, but I don't expect, obviously it's a house show, so you're not going to see a title exchange hands, especially with everything going on right now. So I'm not worried about that. You have Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. You have a triple threat match between Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. Take my money for that.
Yeah.
And then you have Ronda Rousey and Sasha Banks teaming up to take on Charlotte Flair and Natalya.
Why?
Well, the thing is the biggest thing is Ronda Rousey. Everybody loves Natalya, and I do.
I love Natalya. We share the same birthday.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's cool. Ronda Rousey absolutely just loves Natalya. That's her. Natalya was there to help her transition to WWE. So that's why that match is happening, and they're bringing her in, and it's good. And plus, she's probably not going to wrestle too much, so getting her some house show matches is good. I don't see her doing too many house shows, just like before. There's really no need for her to do them. But yeah, it's one of my, like I said, one of my dreams to attend a house show in Madison Square Garden. Just again because of the history. There's just so much that has gone on in that building, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I'd want to do it. It's a hell of a place, and it just sounds like a good house show too. But
I wouldn't know. I've never seen it.
They need to go to Bulgaria.
No.
They need to go. They need to do a show right outside your bar.
Oh no! Please don't do this to me. Why? No. Hell no.
I'm just messing around with you. No, I live in Minnesota, so I'm not going to the show. It's one of those things where I already have to be going to New York, and then it just has to work in my favor. But yeah, unfortunately, I would like to plan a trip around that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, live from Maggie's bar. I think JJ said it best. But yeah, so
you laugh now,
yeah,
but well, imagine a live show from my bar and AJ Styles comes around.
Well, yeah.
No, we're not doing that again.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and transition into our first Cooper effect, as I have it titled here, Pancake. So you know where to go from there.
Yeah. So for people who aren't familiar with this, I am the biggest Twin Peaks fan, and I decided to call this segment the Cooper effect because, as Dale Cooper once said, every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it. Don't wait for it. Just let it happen. And on this segment, we decided to honor wholesome people doing amazing things for their community and all around being amazing people. So that being said, Rob, you know that making friends when you're over 30 sucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I myself used to be a people person, and then I became a bartender, and now I just hate everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you know that when you're over 30, that making friends is way harder than when you were a kid. So this dude named Curtis Kimball, he's the owner of the creme brulee cart. He actually decided to make pancakes for his entire neighborhood in order to get to know them better. And Rob, everyone loves pancakes, as you said. and I encourage people to make Bulgarian pancakes. I can't explain what this is because I do not know how to cook, which is shocking. If I have to survive from my own cooking, I'll probably die. So the Bulgarian pancakes are the best. Like I don't think they don't have anything to do with American style pancakes. This dude made pancakes for his entire neighborhood, and he said that he did not expect what happened. Like the entire neighborhood came and ate some pancakes, and they just talked, and they just, this is so incredibly wholesome. Do you imagine, like, he even got all these like
You're my dog? Damn it. The dog got through the door. Son of a...
Oh, Taco.
Yeah, Taco. My dog's name's Taco. So
Cameo.
Yep.
Yeah, so he even got the flyers all around the neighborhood, and he even said that he was incredibly anxious while he was putting up the flyers because he thought he was stupid, but he did it either way because, like, he tried. Like, this is basically what we can do, like, at that point. Like, we can try, we can just try, and it ended up being an incredible success, Rob. Like, imagine you go outside to throw out some trash, and you see a flyer which basically says, "Hey, free pancakes."
Yeah. You got me. I'd be there. Free
Yeah,
pancakes.
sure.
Let's go. That should be my middle name, Free Pancakes. I'd be there. Yeah, that's awesome though, and I agree with that. Like, I mean, I didn't work at a bar, but I managed a cell phone store for a little while, and I started to hate people too after a while. But yeah, I couldn't imagine being a bartender. I mean, sometimes it sounds like a great gig, but then sometimes it's just like, I'm good. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, thanks. No.
No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. Whew. But, we talked about it earlier. Moving on from that Cooper effect before we go to the next one. Going from a good news story to, and I'm going to bring it back up. It's the Sean Ross Sapp reported about the record low morale in WWE. It seems like it's been obviously really low with just everything that's going on. You have guys like Ali who wants out of the company. I think one of the biggest reasons, and this is just me spitballing here and with no real answers on why, but I think a lot of it has to do with people seeing their friends get fired, here like every couple of months. And you look at the storylines and how some people can't get to Vince McMahon like they used to, like be able to talk to him. He gets so protected now by guys like Bruce Pritchard and even other like execs like at shows, and it's just sad to see. Like, this is a job that almost anybody that's in the WWE, for the most part, you would say it's a dream job. They would say that, like most wrestlers would say that they're living their dream. And we talked about it earlier. The fact that morale's so low, it's sad because they got a lot of good people there. I mean, if you can't find something for Finn Balor, that's not a Finn Balor issue. That's a you issue. That tells me right there, you don't know what the hell you're doing. If you can't find anything for Finn Balor, you can't find anything for, who else hasn't been used? I mean, obviously Ali hasn't been used, but
obviously
Cedric
Cesaro.
Alexander. Cedric Alexander is one of the best wrestlers, and a lot of people do not have any idea about that. He's so damn good in the ring, and a lot of people don't know he's that good, and I just don't get it. Like, and we talked about it. Cesaro, he wasn't even in the Royal Rumble, was he? Was he in the? No, I can't even remember.
No, he was not. This is why.
That's another guy. If you can't find Cesaro, a spot for Cesaro in a 30-man battle or Royal Rumble, I mean, shit, you give us Shane McMahon over Cesaro? No thanks. You give us Shane McMahon over Finn Balor? No thanks. You give me Shane McMahon over. Granted, it didn't sound like Ali wanted to be there in the first place, but you give me Shane McMahon over Ali? No thanks. Hell, give me Mansoor over Shane McMahon. And we obviously seen what happened with the Shane McMahon news. He made himself look really bad. A couple of weeks ago, and it's just one of those things that morale. I don't see morale getting any better until this company sells, and I know a lot of people don't think that they're selling. In my opinion, they are, just based off what I've seen and the way they're moving things around numbers wise, letting people go. I definitely think they're on their way to selling. Who's going to buy the company? I don't know. If I had the money, I would do it. But if I had the money, I'd do a lot of things. So we can dream in one hand and S on the other. We'll see which one fills up first. But it's one of those things where when Vince McMahon is no longer in charge, and depending on who gets to be in charge, like when they sell it, like when they sell that company, there's no telling. We all like to talk about how we'd want Triple H to take over, that's what I constantly hear, and that's what I believe. I think Triple H would be a lot better running that company with Stephanie, and it's just, what in your opinion are ways that they can make morale better? Just based off just on your opinion, what do you think they could do to make things better?
Just care for their workers.
Yeah.
Like I said it last week when you talked about how you could fix things in Stanford. When you appreciate your workers, they're going to appreciate you right back. And when you have this amazing roster and you have these amazing wrestlers and creative, and them themselves pitching ideas, and them not even giving you the benefit of the doubt to even try it, like these are things that make you feel insignificant in the big picture. And when they said it themselves, that they feel like only 2 or 3 people matter in the whole company, and everything evolves around them. Like, how can you? Let me put it this way. Let me start from afar. You remember the Royal Rumble when Drew McIntyre won? Okay. So they made him eliminate Brock Lesnar. They immediately built a star by eliminating Brock Lesnar. They already had the idea in their heads that Drew McIntyre will be a big thing in that year. So instead of them building a new star, like one to put over this year, they just let Brock Lesnar win the Rumble either way. Having in mind he already could have had just a match with Roman Reigns, because he already had they had a story. They presented us with a story with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns screwing him over in that match against Bobby Lashley. It could have not happened. And I feel like when they have no idea what they're going to do, they just go to Brock Lesnar. Like they always go for the sure thing, because of course Brock Lesnar is going to sell seats. I mean, he's Brock Lesnar. I love Brock Lesnar. But at some point, when those people end up not wanting to do this anymore. And those people, I mean, like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg and old stars like that, who will always get the huge pop that you want and will always sell tickets. When those people are gone, what are you going to do then? Like, you haven't built stars, you haven't made your fan base care for someone, because you haven't presented them with a reason to care for them. Like, and if you ever get to cheer for someone, uh, you're just probably gonna see him get released. Like, I'm sorry for bringing that up, but it's like, when you get so invested, I will never forget the moment Aleister Black got released, and I couldn't believe it. Like, he was having match of the nights, match of the months with people on Raw or on SmackDown. Like, don't even remember which show he was on. Buddy Murphy, like, him and Buddy Murphy had excellent matches, and they made those shows watchable. And they just, released them. And at some point, you're just gonna go ahead and I'm never gonna tag with Seth Rollins because I'm gonna get released after that. Like,
Yeah.
he probably has that in him. And it's, when you like, there were so many stories of people telling that, talking about them waiting in front of Vince McMahon's office for days.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, I can't do that. Like, if my boss doesn't want to talk to me for like 2 hours, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Like, these are some people who can't wait to tell their stories, who can't wait to tell you all about that thing they have. Like, and they're so excited about that they wait for weeks in front of his office. Like, this is, I don't know, this is insulting.
Yeah.
Like, how can you, yeah. And you end up thinking, well, they don't care about me here. Like, why? How can morale be high when people don't care about you? And I said it last week. People, and I say it this week again. People will always love you and work for you and give you all they have when they know they're appreciated.
Yep.
And people know when they're not appreciated.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. You said it best right there. So let's go from low morale to something with good morale. Fightful just posted this on their Twitter page, and it's really, or not on Twitter, but on Fightful.com. The Forbidden Door has led to a red carpet event at a GLAD event last night. Two wrestling superstars came together, one WWE, one AEW. That was Anthony Bowens of AEW and Sonya Deville of WWE.
And Sonya Deville, yeah.
So they met last night at a red carpet event with the NFL. I think it's pretty cool that they got to do this, got to meet each other. It's they're both part of the LGBTQ community, and it's really cool that they got to meet each other and at a good event. So with the NFL, because the Super Bowl is coming up here soon. And Maggie, I know you're a huge NFL football fan, so who do you got?
Oh, sure, yes. I know everything about American football.
So who do you have winning? Do you even know who's playing?
Yeah, come on. How do you not know? Do you know that the Bengals are playing?
Yeah, I've heard the Bengals.
You know they won?
Yep, I've heard that they're in.
Yeah, the Bengals and the Rams, right?
Yes, they're Bengals and the Rams. And yeah, who do you got winning? Yeah, I know you probably don't care, but I'm going for the Bengals.
I'm going for the Bengals as well. This is purely one of my colleagues is a football is American football fan.
Cool.
Yeah, and because the game is always on the Sunday, and he always almost all the time he has the night shift, and he just plays the show right after his shift ends. And because I actually knew the Bengals were playing on the playoffs, and I started talking to him about it, and he was like, "Oh my God, you watch American football? Oh wow!" And he just starting to talk, and I'm like, "No, wait,
Yeah.
no, stop, no."
Yeah. Well, I think
I'm probably gonna watch it as well, because we actually have a channel here in Bulgaria that
oh, cool.
yeah, we actually do. So I'm probably gonna watch it and like support Sean. And this is,
there you go. Yeah, Sean said he's gonna give everybody that Fightful $1,000 raise if the Bengals win. He didn't, but I'm just gonna start putting that out there. That way,
you bastard, Rob.
He didn't say that, but let's put it out there. He's gonna, next week somebody else to be hosting the show. But yeah, I transitioned to that really well, I think, because I thought that was a cool story. I'm like, let's put Maggie on the spot, see who she thinks is going to win. So, but we go to our very next Coexisting. And this is one that you wanted to do because it's somebody that we both admire. And go ahead, hit it up.
We actually said it a couple of minutes ago that we were going to have 2 Cooper effects this week, and I just really wanted to gift this person the Cooper effect because I know, like maybe she's not watching now, but she will be later, and I'm talking about Molly Bell. And I have never ever in my life have been more in love with someone I haven't even met. Molly Bell is the most wonderful person ever, and you always fall in love with what she does every time. Every time I read something from her, and I'm like, this is the best she's ever done, and I say this about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, having in mind. Especially the past 24 hours have been awful for wrestling Twitter. We're not going to talk about it at all here. But she always reminds you that there is beauty and love all around, and it's just the most adorable thing ever. I've been in love with Molly ever since I started interacting with her. She's the most wonderful human being, and I will forever support her, and I will forever love her for everything she does. And I'm starting to tear up because Maggie cries all the time, and it's a real thing. And I just want to say just how much I love supporting her, and I don't even consider it a support because it's a natural thing. I don't want to call it support. It's just something you want to do naturally because it's Molly, and I just follow Molly, guys. Like if you're able to, if you ever cry from reading something, it will be from reading something Molly wrote. She's able to capture everything so beautifully and so gracefully that she makes it look easy. Jeremy is actually the one who bragged about Molly on Twitter all around. And as I said, Molly makes it look incredibly easy because she's just that gifted, and it's something she will always have, and she will always have me. I'm sorry, Molly, you'll never get rid of me. And
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sure I'm crying because I'm talking about Molly.
Yeah, she's awesome. I always like sharing the story about Molly, and I don't know if she knows this or not, but when she was writing for a different site, she she was leaving that site. And once I saw that she was leaving the site, I messaged Sean immediately. I mean, this was just in a matter of minutes. Like I saw it on Twitter, and I messaged Sean immediately. And I'm like, you need to try to get her. And what happened in that DM is Sean doesn't always respond quick to DMs. And rightfully so, he gets probably hundreds a day. But he responded right away, and he said, already reached out. And we were like on the same, I guess we were on the same, like, same page, I guess you'd say. And that meant, I thought that was really cool, because I was like, this is somebody that you want to write for you. She's an outstanding writer. She's my favorite writer, like feature writer. And you're right. Like she's beautiful with her words. And she's one of the sweetest people that you can talk to on Twitter. And we absolutely love her. So when you said that you wanted to do a Cooper Effect story on her, I said, abso-freaking-lutely. Because she deserves it. And the thing is, we're lucky to know somebody like her. She makes everybody, or she makes us look good. Like Fightful look really good, and that's something that we don't take for granted. But there's too many words to describe her, and they're all good ones. That's really the best way to say it. But yeah, moving on. You know, it's
yeah, because I'm like,
yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit so she can kind of come back a little bit.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. So one of the other news bits that came out today was that, you believe it or not, it's coming back. WrestleMania Backlash was announced today. It was kind of already like known it was going to happen, but they did officially announce it today. It's going to be taking place on Sunday, May 8th at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. The poster or the advertisement shows Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, your normal crew. The thing about WrestleMania Backlash is it's obvious we're going to get more WrestleMania rematches, I think. So, yay. But yeah, they announced that today. So that's another Sunday pay-per-view coming up. That might actually be the next Sunday pay-per-view or premium live event that we see from WWE, because the next one is obviously Saudi Arabia, and I don't think that's on a Sunday. And then the next pay-per-view is not until WrestleMania, and I guess WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. So I guess there you go. We'll see it then. Yeah. But yeah, they announced that. Some other little tidbits. We saw Dolph Ziggler on NXT this past Tuesday. Somebody on Twitter made a good comment about that. It's about, wow, this is Dolph Ziggler's. We all know he's a hell of a wrestler. We don't really like the storylines he gets, but he's somebody that WWE trusts. Like, he's one of their guys that they could ask him to do anything in the ring, and they'd be comfortable with him doing it. So Dolph Ziggler going down to NXT, making some younger talent look good. I'm all for it. That's good for him. And gets them on TV more, so he's good. Other news this past week, Bryan Danielson's going to be inducted into the 2022 Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. He'll be going in with the Briscoe brothers. So that's awesome. I mean, that's a name that obviously deserves to be there, because when you think Ring of Honor, especially the early days of Ring of Honor, Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, CM Punk, guys like that, or some of the first people of Samoa Joe.
He can actually get inducted because he's not in WWE anymore.
Yeah, so
suckers.
And talking about that, WWE will probably start announcing their Hall of Famers pretty soon. I assume
I'm surprised they haven't already.
They usually do it like right around now, but they might be pushing it back a little bit. Who knows? I know Batista was originally scheduled, was it last year, but he decided to hold off. So I think we'll see. I think he held back last year. I could be wrong. But
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. But I think we'll see Batista get in there this year if he's not already, which just sucks because you would think I'd remember that. I don't think he was, but I think Batista will be in there. So the reason I bring up the Hall of Fame is, who's somebody that you would like to see in the WWE Hall of Fame that's not in there right now?
I'm almost sure they're doing the Mickie James thing in the Hall of Fame. I actually thought that this is why they got her into the Royal Rumble. Well, besides to make amends for that whole garbage bag incident, I'm pretty sure they're getting her into the Hall of Fame. I don't have any other suggestions. I'm probably like, the moment we get offline, I'll spew some suggestions. But now, like off the top of my head, I don't have any. But I'm sure that Mickie James is one of them.
Yeah,
she goddamn deserves to be.
Yeah, and I think Undertaker's going to be one of those guys too if he decides to do it this year. So I think Mickie James is an excellent pick. Somebody outside the box that I think, this was just, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying that it's a report. I think it's and this is just me spitballing here. I think it's real possible, not this year, I don't think, but I think within a year from now, I think you might actually see somebody in another company be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I really do. And the person I think that would be first is Paul White. I honestly think Paul White would be the first guy.
Crap, I completely forgot about him.
I'm not saying that it's going to happen this year. I could see it happening though, within the next couple of years. Vince McMahon absolutely loves that man. And I think it would be a good choice. If there's somebody in another company who deserves it, it's him. Outside of the company in WWE, that's retired now, there's so many people out there. Yeah, Chris Jericho's a name. I think Big Show would get it before him because Jericho's still wrestling quite a bit. I could see somebody like, well, JBL's already in there. It's really hard. I thought I had somebody in mind, but now that I think about it, I don't really have anybody that's like coming to mind. I could see maybe somebody like Ken Shamrock in a way, because he did bring a lot of eyes to the product.
Yeah, okay. I'm terrified of Ken Shamrock, by the way. He looks like he's going to murder me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to piss him off. That's definitely somebody on my list not to piss off.
Actually, I don't remember who said it, but they said that he's actually a completely
nice guy.
A nice guy, sweetheart, and I'm like, I don't believe you. No.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him.
I'm sure, but he terrifies me.
Yeah, there's so many good people out there, and that deserve it. I look at somebody like, I think he's trying to make a comeback. I don't know for sure, but I can see somebody like Paige getting in there. I believe with everything that AJ Lee deserves a spot. I just don't know if that's going to happen. But I truly believe she deserves a spot. That's the thing.
Deserves it.
There's so many good people that deserve spots, and she is somebody that I'd want in there. Yeah, that just was something I brought up because I was just curious to see what you thought who should be in there, and I like your Mickie James pick. I think that's a good choice. Yeah. Yeah, and we said that earlier. AQA did sign with AEW, so good for her. But Moving on. Maggie, you ready? It's joke time.
Yeah. Give it to me.
We are ready. We're coming in with the jokes. So here we go. Joke time. Maggie, what is the scariest tree?
You don't want me to answer that.
Bamboo. That's what I go for. So what's next? What do I have next for you? Oh yeah, here's one. I can't find my Gone in 60 Seconds DVD. It was here a minute ago.
Oh, always
So stupid. I loved it.
always end these jokes with the joke you thought that you were going to do first. Like that tree joke.
Yeah, no, I got some other ones that are just ridiculous. How was Rome split in two? With a pair of Caesars. Oh shit.
Crap.
I had a great joke about
God.
COVID, but I don't want to spread it around.
Ah!
How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? Follow the Fresh Prince. Bum 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 bum.
Oh my god. I'm so happy we're doing this together, Rob.
Guy says, bro, can you pass me that pamphlet? Guy says, brochure. Why does I got some more, so you just got to work with. Why does Sherlock Holmes love Mexican restaurants?
He does? Wait, what?
They give him good case ideas. Jesus.
My sister already loves you, Rob. Like, stop it.
Oh God. That's okay. Last one for
okay.
Vin Diesel eats 2 meals a day. Breakfast and break furious. So stupid. I just had to read it. It's so stupid. I just loved it though. But we got about 5 minutes. So this is what we're gonna do. We got about 5 minutes left. If you have a question in chat that you want to ask, live it up. Ask us a question. We want to hear from you. So, any questions? Let us know.
Yeah, well, I actually try to remember how to not smile.
Not smile?
My cheeks, Rob.
We got
you
tremendous
doing
pops
those jokes.
Tremendous pops from JJ. What do you call a dead blonde? Last year's winner of hide and seek. Whew.
Oh,
damn!
You have a blonde on the show, dude.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one. Oh,
crap!
If anybody has any questions? So I have a question. Like, how about this? Tell us some of your dream matches if you don't want to ask a question.
Dream matches. They don't even need to be, from the same company. Like we always know the basics, like AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega. A personal of mine, Cody Rhodes against Tommaso Ciampa. and it was Shayna Baszler against Gianna Perazzo, right? JJ
Yeah.
mentioned that previously, and what are yours? Some of yours.
Oh man, I have so many. Well, Bacon Jr. says Hook versus Rockstar Spud. That'd be a good one. Josh Alexander versus
Oh
Daniel
yes, Josh
Bryan
Alexander
Danielson.
versus everyone.
Yeah. that would be a fantastic match. I would love I mean you know how much I love AJ Styles, just like you. I would love AJ Styles versus somebody like Daniel Garcia.
Crap, yes.
I would love to see something like that. This one is a great one. This one is up there for me. Bret Hart versus Bryan Danielson would be another one.
Corey always comes in and like says the most logical thing ever. Like
Yeah, that
Corey's
would
the
be
other one.
that would be
Corey's
one.
the other one besides Molly, which is the all-time best.
Yeah, that would be one. Rock and Roll Express versus Hardy Boys versus FTR. I like this one too. Finn Balor versus Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, Finn Balor against everyone also.
Yeah. Valkyrie
versus Becky Lynch. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would take that. There's so many. That's what I love about talking about fantasy booking. There's just so many matches that you would absolutely just love to see. I mean, like I could go Bret Hart versus Kurt Angle is one of mine. Just both of them in their prime would just be something. I mean, somebody like Stone Cold versus CM Punk would be something I'd love. I absolutely love this idea, and I know you will because of how much you love this guy.
Oh my god. Like Ilya Dragunov versus everyone also.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned this on the show when we were on Select. Ilya Dragunov makes you cry when you watch his matches. Like it hurts, but he shows you it hurts. All right. Like I mentioned this one time in a tweet. I will never want to be a referee in a match with Ilya Dragunov because he actually it's so emotional. Like Ilya Dragunov, oh my god, and I actually hate the fact that he hasn't been on NXT UK for quite some time now. Speaking of NXT UK, one of my all-time dream matches will be British Strong Style against the Elite. I know they had this match at a WCPW show, but I don't think that counts. Like Tyler Bate will forever be one of my all-time favorites. The dude needs to hold all the gold one day, and I'm sure he's not gonna because he's Tyler Bate. And yes, Corey is right once again. Yes, Serena Deeb is one like the other wrestler which WWE dropped the ball on.
Yeah. Well, we got about 2 minutes left, but let's see here. What's a match that you think we'll see at Revolution other than Hangman versus Adam Cole? I think we're probably going to see Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. I think we're going to get that.
I think we're probably going to see CM Punk against MJF number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea who Britt Baker is going to face.
I think Britt Baker's taking up Thunder Rosa is what I think because they just kind of started building that again.
Why not a Double or Nothing? Like I'm kind of it's Andrade Darby. Yes, okay, Andrade and Darby. I'm actually a bit pissed they haven't done anything with Britt Baker for a while. Like they're slowly building up the women's division in AEW, which is okay, but like not having anything for Britt Baker is like, come on, no.
Yeah. Yep. So no, I agree with that. And yeah, he says Punk versus Andrade versus Darby. I could see Andrade versus Darby in a ladder match. I would think a title would need to be on I mean, maybe, yeah, TNT contender match or something like that. I could see.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but
I would like to
who can a buy match? Why not? Like,
Yeah.
what better way?
Yeah, agree with that. Well, we're going to wrap this show up. Maggie, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Maggie_IK and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. I almost forgot my own handle.
You can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. I'm on there every damn day, it seems like. But as I finish this show with my final words, I have to say, if you are an individual who decides to dox somebody, and you decide to try to out this person, and you show pictures of her kids on social media, there's a special place for you in hell. Because you are what we call in the business a piece of shit. You went after a person that is a friend of mine, a friend of Fightful's, somebody who's worked with Fightful. She's an awesome person. And you went after her for no reason other than her being a friend of ours. And mainly Sean Ross Sapp's friend. You went after her for that. That's the only reason you did it. Like I already said, what I think of you. You don't deserve any... Let me rephrase this so I don't sound... You deserve nothing other than what... I just got to be careful with what I say here.
Yeah.
I hope you get...
Karma.
Karma is probably the best way to say it, the easiest way to say it. There's a... In the Oscar-winning film Major League 2, which was not an Oscar-winning film, there is a scene where the catcher says to Jack Parkman, it's like, you're standing on the train tracks and the train's coming through, butthead. And I'm just saying that this ass clown who did this, you're standing on the train tracks. What you did is not acceptable. And I just want you to know that whatever happens to you. You will get karma. I have a feeling it's going to bite you right in the ass, and I'll give a standing ovation when it happens. So with that, I want to leave us on a good note and say that we will see you again here next week. Not live, I don't think, because Maggie will probably have to work, unfortunately. But we will be back. And we absolutely love that you came in and watched us live today. It means a lot to us. And the easiest way to say this is Twitter is supposed to be a cool place. This hasn't been. There's a lot of bad crap that happens on there. The easiest way to say this is something that you've learned, that I've learned ever since I was a kid. Treat people the way you'd want to be treated. That is the easiest way to say it. Because if you do that, you will be fine. It will be all good. Treat people the way you want to be treated. With that in mind, we say thank you. And we hope to see you again here next week. Right here on Fightful Overbooked. Again, check Maggie out at Maggie_IK on Twitter. Follow me at Rob Wilkins. And more importantly, take care of yourself. And we appreciate you, and we will see you soon. Thank you very much. With that, we are out. Bye-bye.